Reaver, that's gonna hurt. If he'd been able to save both Reavers, that would have been really cool, but unable to do so. And that shuttle actually getting pretty low on health right now. The Marines just have been slowly picking at it for so long. Finally, Jamie throwing up the second base. Has been sitting off of one base for so long that he's so economically behind right now. Just now throwing up a second base. Really needs to throw up a third base as well. Maybe try and catch up, do a double expand. Just try and use these Dragoons and this Reaver to just keep up some harassment and just try and be annoying. And Jamie needs to be so careful with that shuttle. There are turrets waiting for him. And if he wanders into a turret, that would just suck. But it looks like he's found a little hole here, able to drop the Reaver. And that's just going to be a dud Scarab, but still, that works. You might be able to pick off the turret as well. I think it takes 3 Reaver Scarabs to pick off a turret. No, only 2. It only takes 2 Scarabs to pick off a turret. You'd think I would know that, but I don't really use... Yeah, I don't really use Reavers in PvT. My shuttle micro sucks too much, so I haven't actually experimented with that before. But yeah, only 2 Reaver Scarabs to take down a turret. And a tank in position now, as well as some mines. So this is going to be really hard for Jangbi to drop any more back there. And Firebait Hero playing some, or not Firebait Hero, Fantasy playing some very good defense right now with his of his bases right now. Some very good defense. Fantasy is a very good TVP. I believe it is Fantasy's best matchup actually is TVP. He's really good at TVT as well, but his best matchup is actually TVP, just slightly. Both of them are over 60%. Jamie coming here for a little bit of attack, picking off one of the tanks, and these vultures actually going to get somewhat of a run by. It looks like 2 vultures have gotten back there, and Jamie has gone for a double expand. And we'll see how much damage this Vulture is able to do, how long it is until a... Oh man, this could be bad. And almost able to pick off the Vulture while Firebait here was keeping it in transit. But this Vulture is just going to get so many kills, getting 1 kill so far, and throwing up some mines as well. This could be really bad. And I'm going to try and surround the Vulture with probes. He needs to be careful doing this. I'm bringing some Dragoons back as well. There it is, pick off the Vulture. The Vulture could have done a lot more damage, so... all things considered, it could have been much worse, so... okay right now for Jamie, only losing that. Going for that double expand, very important. Could actually catch him up economically given some time. But yeah, right now it's not very good for him. And 2 Scarabs going off and not able to kill off the tank yet. There it is. There goes the tank. And the other tank taking a lot of damage as well. And Reavers being dropped here to take out these Vultures. Nice micro there by Jamie, able to pick off the mines as well before they were able to go off on his top of his Vultures. Looks like Fantasy was going for a second command center. Well, third base, second built command center. He's going to try and take this base. He's going to try and leapfrog some tanks in to defend. And Jamie going in here and pushing in. His Dragoons are really clumped up though, so they took some extra damage from all the splash from those from the tank fire, and actually could probably even drop off some Reavers and do some Scarab shots on that command center. Maybe not anymore since that tank's kind of showed up, but oh yep, he is able to. And as long as he's careful, no, Jamie, no, be careful with your Reavers, no. Gotta be so careful. Oh man, it still hasn't taken a second gas though, Jamie. I believe Firebait Hero has taken a second gas, getting a Citadel of Aduna up. We'll see how long it is until Jamie actually takes a 4th base. Could actually take the base there at the inside 6 o'clock position. And this is actually becoming quite an intense game here. Has kind of evolved past that early stages where it kind of was alternating who had the advantage for a few moments here and there. But Fantasy doing a great job and has really done as much as he can to garner as much of an advantage as he can. Looks like Jamie is going to get that 4th base up and running and could get a 3rd gas, which will be really important. Did I just see a Reaver die? That was... just flickered by. He might have actually lost a Reaver, which would suck. It looks like Fantasy has taken some Vultures over to the robotics facility. He's going to try and take it down. As long as Jangbi is careful and doesn't lose his Reaver to mines, he should be in pretty good shape in terms of dealing with this. So just got to be a little bit careful, Jangbi, right now, and just got to try and play the macro game at the moment and do what he can in terms of trying to limit how much Fantasy is allowed to go marauding with these Vultures. Having a bunch of Dragoons there at the inside 6, very important. Having a lot of Dragoons at his natural expand, well, his 3rd base now. Pretty much 1 choke defense both all 3 of your bases, which is pretty cool. Kind of like Andromeda, only without the ramp. And Coliseum only. All 3 of those are kind of like, there's 3 bases in each of the corners, with Coliseum kind of being the most unlike the others, just because the 3rd base is kind of farther away and a little bit harder to take. But each corner of the map does have 3 bases on Coliseum as well. But this map is more like, I would say, more like an Andromeda more than anything else. 3 bases, pretty easy to take. One of them a natural, one of them a mineral only. So some Vultures coming in here, actually able to pick off the probe transfer, which just sucks for Jangbi. Sucks hardcore. The Vultures are going to go down before they're able to do anything else, but the probe transfer has been picked off. Several probes have been lost, which sucks. And Fantasy going to try and come in here with some more Vultures. Actually, might be able to get a run by, and one Vulture gets through. It looks like, yes, it did get through. And Zealot being produced. Fantasy's going to, or Jamie's going to need to start transitioning into some more Zealot play. Going to need to get some speed loss out in order to really deal with all of the tanks and things that Fantasy's going to have coming out really soon off of 2 gases. And sorry, I keep getting the hiccups, so that's why I'm breaking up here and there. I just keep getting the hiccups. We do see the Stargate as well, so we're going to see an Arbiter Tribunal. There it is. So we are going to see some Arbiters coming out from Jangbi any moment now as soon as that Arbiter Tribunal gets finished. And Jangbi is in pretty good tech shape, although so is Fantasy. Both these players are in really, really good shape. I might even say Fantasy's probably a little better head just because he was able to get his second base up so much earlier than Jangbi. Yeah, Jangbi has caught up in terms of bases, but his macro hasn't been kicked in for nearly as long as Fantasy's had, and that's going to be an advantage for Fantasy, as he looks like he's kind of pushing out right now, and his tanks are in a long line right now, so Fantasy can try and build a line of forces counter to that and kind of hack right into the side of it. That could be very effective if he can get a nice broad flank. But oh no, more Vultures getting a run by. Man, Jangbi's got to be more careful than this, losing several probes. Mines are going to be placed all over the place. This is going to be real bad for Jangbi once again. Going to lose some more probes, which always sucks, and Dragoons being ferried in there, so and Fantasy actually taking this opportunity actually to push out a little bit farther. From very smart play from Fantasy, able to take advantage of that time period and pushing out. It looks like Jamie's actually going to load up a shuttle with some Zealot bomb. I'm going to see what damage he can do here, but Fantasy usually does a pretty good job of keeping his tanks separate, and one of the Vultures, or one of the Reavers, goes down to tank fire, unfortunately, and some Goliaths are out as well, so shuttles are going to be very, very ineffectual here. So Jangbi has been pushed back into his corner, and we got some Vultures once again going for another run by, and a gateway being placed pretty strategically, so that way it's going to be hard for run bys. And I could see some Zealot bombs. There are a ton of mines there, and Jangbi coming in hardcore, but it looks like one shuttle does get picked up. That shuttle in the back really needs to drop off its Zealot bombs if it's got Zealot bombs. Not enough Zealots in front. These Dragoons are going down left and right. Not enough Zealots in front. Jangbi needed to push back there. Jangbi needed more Zealots. Could not push there, but he chose to do so anyways. Did not have enough Zealots in front. He had a shuttle go down to Goliaths, and that is gonna be it. Fantasy is gonna get his second win. Fantasy is working on a comeback here. Jangbi GG's. Fantasy trying to get SKT1 back into this. We're gonna head to the 6th set. Who is it gonna be? Probably Struck will be saved until the last game. So if I had to take a guess, I'd say it would be great coming up here on Fighting Spirit, but it could also be maybe a guy like Terran or something like that. We'll see what's going on, and yeah, I will see you guys all in the 6th set. Hope you guys enjoyed this. That was a pretty intense game. 6th set coming up.